To start off today, I promised Rigby I would do this before PAX. It is now September 11th. It is a little bit after PAX. So we're going to be going over the tricks that are allowed in the Season 5 race rules for Paper Mario Rando League. I'm going to go through the entire list, and I'm going to show every single thing that is race legal. So yeah, it shouldn't take too long, but this is also a chance for people to ask questions if they have any. I will also link the Google Doc in the YouTube description, and you know, the whatever, normal stuff. So let's start from the top, because that makes sense. I am using the Paper Mario Practice ROM FP to make this much easier to get around and do literally anything. So above this block, you won't be able to see it here because we cannot enable hidden blocks in the Practice ROM, but there is a hidden block here. And you can hit it with Kooper. You can hit it with Bombette. As such. Again, things that you're probably already aware of. If you have Ultra Boots, you can jump on top of this block and break it as such and hit the block. There are two new methods to this. One is Parakarry. If you're like in the corner here, so you have to like kind of nudge yourself into the block just slightly. Sometimes it's finicky, but that's good enough. Use Parakarry, you're inside the block, you can hit the block. There we go. It's that position. That position, no other position works. You cannot be within like fractions of a pixel off of that position. That's how precise it is. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Absolutely do not do that trick. You will waste your time. Odd key early. That easy. You know how to do that one. Since we're here, Blue House Skip is now allowed with Lackluster in race settings. You stand in this corner, you get on Laki. If you look at Mario's shadow along the bottom of the blue house, you want it to be like around kind of here, kind of around the middle, and you can jump up, get on the pipe, and hold down. That is now legal. That is massive. That will change like routing literally everywhere. That is, Laki gets you access to basically everything. Levels of what you can do. In this room, you can jump off of the Dark Koopas to hit the blocks. However, they need to be standing up. If they are in their shell, you will not get enough height. So, let me try and bait them in such a way that this is like easy. Like that. You have to go very late. If you go early, you will not get enough height. The final thing that's really big for randomizer race rules, this has been allowed for a while. If you come up through this pipe, jump down onto this, and you have Ultra Boots, you can just break the block. Easy. That's been allowed for a long time. Very basic. This Thunderbolt, you can do the same thing as you did with the Dark Koopas, where you jump off the Spike Goomba to hit the block. If you don't have Kooper, run away. Grab the Thunderbolt, or whatever it ends up being. Alright, staircase skip. You're going to come on top of this staircase. You are going to stand right about here. You're going to tap jump down, hold up, and you're down here. This is what's allowed in races. You are not allowed to fall out of bounds to skip a key. But you can come down here, you can do that to basically just skip the Koopa fight to get like Bombette check here. You can go into the pit from here, but you were not allowed to do what speedruns do, where you fall this way to come up here. You cannot do that in races. That is not legal. Buzzar Skip saves very little time in a randomizer because of how fast the text is. But you kind of just walk up to this corner here and jump upright, and now you're out of bounds. On the bridge, just spin across the seam and jump down. Saves seconds. You know, most people probably aren't going to do that. There are a lot of blocks like this, a lot of like blocks slightly off the ground. You're supposed to hit with like Kooper or something else, like, you know, oh, I can't jump high enough to hit this, but if I do a spin jump, that's an example of like, this location is a good example of that because the block is like kind of visibly lower than a lot of others. There are a lot of spots like that. You can do that with the block that has the Thunderbolt in Chapter 1 as well. So this is the room, has the ruins. You put the pole stone in. I like to line this up such that the little point on the bottom of the pedestal is just like slightly above the bottom of the screen. So you see how it's not quite at the bottom of the screen, but it's slightly there, it's centered. And then if you do an Ultra Boots jump, you just end up in the ruins. You can do the same thing with Lackluster in the exact same position. I think this was allowed in a previous season, and it has since been disallowed until now. Because getting access to an entire dungeon is kind of broken. But that is now allowed. So, in this room here, if you didn't have Parakarry, let's say, but you have Ultra Boots, if you jump at this corner and do an Ultra Boots jump, tornado jump, right position, you will clip up to the top, and then you can place Bombette and go in here without Parakarry. Very simple. You can do that on your way to the Super Hammer room as well, but I will show something else there in a second. This Laki jump is very precise. Should be like right around here, but it's not. You have to be kind of off the step to the top. You want Mario's nose to be like slightly inside the door. Not far enough up. Like in a race setting, for reference, if I have a way to break that stone block above me, I am never doing this. I am literally never doing this in a race if I have the Super Hammer. This is you are in the ruins, you have Laki, and you don't have Super Hammer. But you can Laki jump up here and grab the check. This next jump, so from here, this jump, if you do not have notches on your controller, I would highly recommend getting a controller that has notches, because you need to be holding an upright notch. See, my upright is negative 68, 68. You have a little bit of leniency, like this angle should work. This angle probably works, but you need upright. You need up left notch. Without up left notch, this jump becomes pretty much RNG. And even with the right notch, it is frame perfect. So I might miss this, but I got it. So from this loading zone, you can just hold up left notch and then properly time your jump. It is frame perfect at best 2 frames, based entirely on the angle of your up left. So keep that in mind. It lets you get to the Super Hammer room much earlier. Similarly, you can jump on top of this and break it with Ultra Boots. to skip solving all of this puzzle if you don't have Super Hammer. I'm going to open this just to demonstrate slow go early as well. Jumping on top of this chest from the corner here. Please. Thank you. So once you're on top of the chest, you need super boots or ultra boots. Kind of walk down to here, and you're gonna be jumping up in like deeper into the screen and trying to find a good angle with which you will clip up like that. And obviously that skips all of the puzzle in this room, which is quite a bit. It's fast in Rando, but it is still quite a bit. The final thing here is just this ruins key. It's just a Laki jump. That's really all. That's all there is to this one. Laki jump like all the rest. Again, Laki jumps. So if you have no keys, you can still get this check. That's a very simple one. Lets you do quite a bit. So, dodging Tubba, you want Mario's nose to be just barely visible behind this pillar. You want to be as far up against the top level as you can. And then you're going to use Parakarry to get on top of this beam and leave. So, very simple. Very straightforward. There are a couple sets of clips you can do. I'm going to demonstrate the Parakarry one first, because it's the more common one, and you can do it to also leave the room. Actually, because you can do it to leave, I'll demonstrate Laki. From any of these corners, you can just get on Laki and clip into here without waiting for the Shy Guy. So, highly recommend getting used to that if you can. And from here, from this corner, if you use Parakarry, you will clip past this wall, and holding upright, you will also get back here. Now, on the other side of that, if you Parakarry clip through this to the other side, and you hold straight left, you can exit the room without taking the spring. And that's a little bit safer, because then this Sky Guy will not be an issue, or a potential issue. Gourmet Guy Skip Laki. You stand in this corner here, you get on Laki, you get off Laki, and then you fall up. And this will skip ever giving the cake to Gourmet Guy. Obviously, that's still a check. And if you have the cake, you can give it to him on the way back. And that's a little bit faster. You won't have to double back through these rooms. This trick has been allowed for a very, very long time. I think it's literally always been allowed. You push one of the blocks up against here. See how it's like lined up with this rock? You kind of walk behind it at a slight angle. And then you just walk out of bounds into the loading zone back here. Lava puzzle skip is allowed. I think this has always been allowed. This doesn't even give you access to checks early. But you can... What I like to do, this is not the necessary norm. Some people do it from the right side. You Parakarry across, a couple taps down, and just fall down here. And that skips pushing those blocks and blocking off the lava flow. When you pick up the Ultra Hammer check in the next room, this puzzle's automatically solved anyway, so like, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. This, I think, again, everyone knows, instead of going all the way back here to break all of those metal blocks, if you stand in this corner here, and then you use Parakarry, you will clip through the wall. Now, the other thing that is allowed, this is the only instance on the trick list of a Laki teleport. Because again, it's very basic. It's a very, very small time saver. Due to how the randomizer is set up, you will have the Ultra Hammer anyway. This doesn't even get you anything out of logic. It is just faster if you get it quickly. So if you stand like around here, in Rando, Colorado won't be there, but I think most people probably are aware of that. You will get on Laki, get off Laki, walk up to this corner, and then get on Laki again. And if you are in the right position, which should be centered on this seam. So I'm trying to get Mario so he's centered like right here when I get on Laki. Laki, please get out of the way. You want to be like right around here for Mario. So you can be like right around here. Go. It was a little early. It's early. Late. At the end of the day, a Laki teleport is frame perfectly getting on Laki as he's coming back to you, and he is being very awkward about it. Really. It's late. Early. There we go. So, again, it's a trick that saves a little bit of time. If you want to learn it, go for it. If you don't want to learn it, you just want to either break the stone blocks or use Parakarry, go for it. It really doesn't save that much time. And it only really saves time if you do it quickly anyway, so... It doesn't even get you checks out of logic. So, keep that in mind with what you're deciding to learn for Season 5. As I was saying, like, all these things that you don't really need to know. If you don't know this, learn it. It's going to be a problem if you don't. I almost guarantee it. So, you're going to get on Laki. You're going to come up behind this yellow flower. You're going to go slightly down. And then get off Laki. I landed it in the wall. Sometimes you land on the seam up above, but if you land here, it's actually fine. You can just tap jump, go down, or go up rather, and you'll end up here, and you can get this check here. And then I'm gonna disable encounters real quick. You're gonna get encounters on the way back. You just are if you don't land on the seam, because you're gonna be going there for that trick, for that check, and then you just come over here. Notably, for those that might be worried, this gate from this side has no collision. So you can just walk right through. So from here, holding slightly down of straight right to get behind the flower. And I got on the seam. So I can just run along the seam to the other side. If you do that, you won't get encounters, but you are probably doing this because you want the check in the partner upgrade block location. So, just quick demonstration of like how to do it. This gives you so many checks. There are so many checks on this side that if you don't know this trick, it is going to probably punish you. If you have to backtrack with Yellowberry later, it loses too much time. You will lose minutes if you have to come back with Yellowberry from somewhere else later. Similarly, Laki jumping under this platform gets you up here, gets you these two checks before turning in Waterstone. It usually doesn't matter, but it could. Always can. So Laki gets you this entire path. Every single check, that's 2 from the blueberry tree, 2 from the bulberry tree, the star piece, the dizzy dial, the maple syrup, the panel, the jam and jelly, potentially the Waterstone. That trick alone gets you 10 checks. Just the absolute absurd density that one Laki clip gets you here is huge. So, keep that in mind, be aware of it, practice it, and figure it out. That is one that I very, very much recommend. If you're going to learn anything, that is very high on the list. This one, not super relevant. There's a couple ways to do this. If you don't have Bombette to break this, but you really want this item, similar to Staircase Skip, you can be on this little edge. You will jump, hold down a little bit, and then hold up shortly after falling to get down here and grab this. If you have a Laki, the easier way to do this would be to get on Laki, because Laki falls slowly, and just sort of fall into here. So, okay, with good movement, mind you, it is faster to go this way to get to this tree. And then I fell down here, but it is faster. However, if you stand on this corner here, you can use Parakarry to also get across. But it is very, very slightly faster to just spin around the entire pond than it is to use Parakarry there. This is going to be a pretty precise lineup. So I walk into this corner, and then I tap jump left a couple times. I want the furthest black pixel of Mario's nose to be just beyond where the broken wall is. And then I hold up, spin, hold right, spin. So that's Bombette Puzzle Skip. So in this room, you're going to line up the right pixel of Mario's nose with the sort of like gold edge of this, I don't know what to call this, the hole that you send Kooper through. You're going to hold straight up until right around here. There's a visual cue with like a white pixel on Mario's hat, but you can kind of just feel it out. And that should be the right position for this trick. And then again, like the Bombette Puzzle Skip, you're just going to spin, hold right, and spin again. These blocks are... This has never been relevant because of... we haven't had Dungeon Shuffle. So normally you would have needed Ultra Boots to even get here. But because of Dungeon Shuffle, that's no longer the case. You can still hit these with Super Boots. They are still low enough. So it's good to be aware of that. Just jump and spin with good timing. The peak of Mario's jump. And you will hit these. You're going to come to this corner here. And you're going to Laki clip. Inside here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stairs to the top. And then you're going to spin right, jump down, spin right, jump down. If you don't land on the spring, you can typically feel it out as long as you're on the right side of the room to jump up or down and land on the spring. And obviously that skips the warehouse key. Gets you over here, solves the murder, and you get to move on. Can anyone even see this right now? The answer is no. Well, if you come from here, you can see it. There's a coin block in here. Coin blocks are in the randomized pool of items for Season 5, and this one is fairly well hidden. I don't think many people necessarily know it's here. So I could see that tripping up someone. So you're coming into the desert. Normally Colorado's camp would be here, but the way that I like to do this is that I'm going to go down. I'm going to go towards Attack Effect C first, because it is one of the earlier checks in the desert. So we're going to come down here to here and grab this badge. Now we're going to go up. From left to right, the next closest check is a coin block. A single coin block. Coming up, there's a 10 coin block in the room below here. This is the coin block. Notably, there is a panel here. If you can flip panels, I would come up here and grab this now, most likely. But from here, otherwise, we're going to go back down. And down to this room for another coin block. And then up into this twister. Because this puts you at spin attack. And then you can also grab this block here. Then we go down, over this item behind the grass, this tree, this upgrade location, and this tree. Let me double check something really quick. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And then up. Life shroom check. Coin block. Got an encounter because the bandit sucks. And then we come up. Grab this tree. And into Outpost. I'm not going to go through Outpost. I think everyone kind of knows what Outpost has. You would go through, you would do the Moustafa stuff, grab your couple checks, and then leave again. From here, we're going to go left 1, and then up. Because we're going to be making our way towards the ruins. So here is your runaway paycheck. I'm going to grab the right block, hit the twister, come up here, grab this block, this item behind the cactus, and then go back down and left. And then down here, we're going to hit this coin block. And then keep going left and down. Because over 2 more rooms is this room with 4 coin blocks, fire flower, and then here you have a choice. You're either going to go up to the ruins, or most likely you're going to be going further left. If the goal is to end at the ruins location, you're going to go all the way left from there. Down left, left. And you're going to hit this block 10 times. In Rando, I'd be done. I would have 3 blocks here. We'd get the 3 checks and move on. I'm not going to keep hitting it. Come up here, grab the Thunder Rage. Go up here. Grab this check and this check. And then move right to the ruins. That is how I go through the desert. So you come from the pipe here, you do all your outpost stuff that you were going to do, and then you're going to go to the desert and maybe Mount Rugged. So you're going to come here, grab that letter, and then go down. Going to grab that, get the encounter again because this bandit sucks. Come in here, tree. You probably fought Blooper, so I'd hit the heart block sometimes. Get that, come up here, grab this, and then left. See that item, and then come up here and peek. Is the item up on that ledge something I need? Do I need that? No? Keep going. If I do decide that I need those, I will take the twister now. Otherwise, I'm going down to grab this, and then I go all the way left to attack FXC. All the way left to here, and then I go up and right to our other coin block. There's our 10 coin block. Up one more, right one more. And then we grab this. From here, you go straight up. Here's your panel. And here's a twister that acts as a convenient shortcut to take you to Runaway Pay. From here, it's basically the same as normal. Come up here. Grab this, grab this. The rest of the top route should be pretty much identical to the previous route. Only really takes a couple minutes to comb the desert in this way. This is a very brief reminder. These are already hit, but that's fine. This first block, especially, very, very worth remembering that you can ground pound this first block. This one is always visible. You can always ground pound this block to get the check. And then across here, down this pipe, even in blitz settings, this block is always in logic. Like, there is not a situation where this block is not in logic. Like, you will have to learn panel locations, you will have to learn coin block locations. Most coin blocks are on the path that you are probably already going along. Panels, you are probably already entering rooms that have them. And you have I Spy always on, so when you enter a room that has a panel, you will get the prompt that tells you the panel has a check. You will be able to see the panel, you'll be able to see a vague hint above the panel. So, those will just be things that you need to remember. Otherwise, I think this is all fairly normal. Nothing else has really been added in terms of settings besides Dungeon Entrance Shuffle. And the only place where Dungeon Entrance Shuffle has an impact with tricks is the ruins that we showed earlier. So I think that that's all fine. I think we should be good there to call it on, like, the explanations as to what's allowed and what's not. Or the explanations as to at least what's allowed. So, I will trim this all up later and upload it to YouTube.